Sonic the Hedgehog. You press the A button and that guy jumps. But what does he do when he jumps? He sucks his own dick. Today we're going to be looking at all the different Sonic spin balls, which means every single one of his jump animations when he's curled up into a ball. And first we're starting out with Sonic 1. It looks good. I mean, it's just a ball with some spikes on it. His head's in there somewhere. It looks good in motion. I like how he spins around in it. Pretty neat how you can actually see his hands are tucked in there. Another neat detail is that his shoes are given a blur effect, which makes them look a lot longer, fitting in with the spin ball very well. What's also cool is that when his spikes aren't visible and he's just a ball, there's actually a sun reflection off of him, making him look very shiny. On to Sonic 2. It's the exact same. It's just a slightly darker blue. Okay, enough of the bullshit. I'm just gonna cut through all the Genesis games. They all have the exact same spin ball. CDs looks a little bit different. Sonic 3's also looks good. We all get that. Let's just move on. This is where we're gonna get a little bit more interesting. Let's analyze Sonic 3D Blast. That's a great line to say on first dates, by the way. Honestly, it really doesn't look that bad. It follows the same style of him being curled up for a couple of frames and then a ball for the other couple of frames. The only questionable part is that when he's curled up, he looks like that. However, for their first try in a 3D space, it doesn't look that bad. Pretty good even. Next, we move on to Sonic R. Again, not that bad. When Sonic himself is curled up, he looks pretty decent, but the actual ball kind of just looks like a shield. It looks fine in motion, but when you actually stop and look at it, it looks a little bit weird. Overall, not that bad, but I want to see better. Next, we move on to my darling, Sonic Jam. This right here might just be my favorite spin ball in the entire series. First of all, the way that he curls up into a ball looks pretty good. I like that. But the way the actual ball looks, and the way it has these white lines surrounding it, just looks beautiful. And the blue color mixed with the low poly model, oh my god, I'm in love with this. Low poly Sonic is one of my favorite things in the entire series. I would rather play Sonic Jam on an original Sega Saturn than emulating it, because this game just seems like it would be perfect for original hardware. And now we've reached Sonic Adventure. They took Sonic's models, scrunched him down, and then added a shit ton of blur on him, put him in the middle of a blue ball, and again, it looks pretty good. I think it's pretty neat that we can actually see his shoes as well. But yeah, Sonic Adventure did a pretty good job. Now we move on to Sonic Adventure 2. In my opinion, it's okay. When you jump, it looks like Sonic's really winding up into the jump, but then he just kind of twirls around in there in a spin ball that doesn't look too great. It's just kind of transparent. But when you've been in the air long enough, he ends in a free fall position. I will admit that it's a very dynamic spin ball, but overall, it doesn't really look too great when it's all together. I think the bounce bracelet and the trail that follows it, though, looks gorgeous. I love the bounce bracelet. And now we're at Sonic Heroes. It's pretty basic. The characters are all smushed up. They have transparent two-dimensional spheres around them. It's fine. I don't really have anything to say about these. These are just okay. But then comes along Shadow the Hedgehog. When Shadow's beginning his jump, he really stretches out his entire body until turning into a ball and then curling back up, and then at the very end goes into a freefall position. But this freefall position stretches out his body to the point it looks really, really good. Sonic 06. God, it looks horrible. Sonic is just a spinning, curled up version of himself. And that'd be fine if it looked good, but it doesn't. It just looks really, really awkward. Well, anyway, we move on to Sonic and the Secret Rings. Let's see who the spin ball is in this one.
Let's keep going.
I beg your pardon?
This is not okay.
So Sonic and the Secret Rings opted to have Sonic just jump. Like, no spin ball, he's just jumping. But honestly, it really doesn't look that bad. His spines flow nicely into his jump until he does a somersault to close out the animation. I mean, overall, it's just okay. I just find it really weird that they decided to change it in the first place. Anyway, we're now on Sonic Unleashed. Okay, so first he starts off with a little lunge jump. It looks like he's jumping over a hurdle. That looks really good. And then it transitions into him into the ball. Sonic is slowly rotating inside of the ball, and the ball itself looks pretty nice. It has a nice spinning motion to it. The coloring is really good. It looks really polished overall. I feel like they could have added a little bit more to the spin ball, but overall, it looks pretty damn good. And now we're at Sonic and the Black Knight. It's just the Secret Rings jump. Moving on. So now we're at Sonic Colors, and honestly, I don't know what to think of this one. Sonic is just a ball that spins now. It's impossible to see Sonic actually curled up into a ball himself. Sonic himself isn't curled up into a ball anymore. It's just a ball. And I mean, like, it looks okay. It's just kind of weird that now he's just kind of gone. Sonic Generations. It actually looks like it has the same one as Unleashed. I think the spin ball might look a little bit better in Generations, but that might just be because of the lighting. Fuck it, we'll talk about Classic Sonic. They were able to translate the Genesis spin ball over pretty well. Overall, it looks about the same, and even in 3D, Classic Sonic looks good jumping like that. I just realized I forgot about Sonic 4. It's horrible! Sonic's shiny plastic model doesn't look too great when it's just spinning around like that. Yes, you can argue that Sonic Adventure used this blur effect, but at least it didn't look awful. In Sonic 4, everything just looks like plastic, and when you add on this blur effect, it just makes it look so much worse. And right now, I want to play a clip from the Nathaniel Bandy video of Sonic 4 Episode 1 Triggered.
When Sonic is about to land, there's a few frames where he just turns the other direction because the original animation has him rotating too much.
Sonic Lost World. He's a ball. Okay, actually, no, this one is really good. Admittedly, yes, there isn't much of a transition from him running or standing into his ball, but the squash and stretch that occurs right after on the spin ball looks really nice, and it has a nice settle back into the ground. I would have maybe added Sonic himself in, like how they did in Generations and Unleashed, but with the art style that they had for Sonic Lost World, I guess I can look past it. Sonic Forces. Honestly, it's not the worst. It's just a little bit different. It's pretty similar to Sonic Lost World Spinball, except this time it's a much lighter color of blue, but the squash and stretch is kept in this one, and it has little spikes coming out of it, which look pretty nice. What surprised me is that Frontiers is actually keeping this jump, but it's taking away the squash and stretch from it. I'm not sure how I feel about the squash and stretch being taken away, but overall the jump still looks good, so I'm not complaining. So this is the second video where I talked about nothing but circles, but honestly I'm still having fun doing this, just talking about random Sonic topics. If you guys are enjoying this, please let me know, because surprisingly the last video got some really good reception. And if you do like this video, leave a comment. I want to know what you guys think. I want to see if this is working for people, and just what you guys think of this video overall. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.